Nathan from Aussie Bush Block Story. Thanks for tuning in. Another day continuing on with cladding here on the back of the garage. My goal is this week to get the whole back of the wall of the garage and the rumpus room, or cross Malachi's room, the rumpus room finished today. Sorry, not today. It's not going to happen today. By the end of the week. So yeah, I've probably still got, what have I got? Probably another 50 square meters or something to go. So yesterday I had good progress. So I got about 4 sheets across there, and then I've got to go, right to the end of that scaffold, and then obviously right up as well. So you'll see here. Oh, so take these off so I don't have to yell. I've got my aluminium frame in here. And then I've obviously got a solid timber door to go in there. I haven't ordered that yet, but I will. So there's a flashing over the top of the window. So yeah, I've just realised too, when I've ordered up the sheets for here that go right up in that gable, I don't think they're long enough. This one is long enough, and I'm not sure. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I reckon I'm going to be a sheet short here in a long one, so I might have to pinch one from the gable from the other end, but I'll have to have a bit of a measure up because I can't remember what I've ordered for that other end. I've got it written down in my diary. But what I'm thinking is, if I can get, these March flies are everywhere. If I can get this sheet across to here, which will go, and then I just need to find one full long sheet to go here, which will come down the other side of the door there and down into this groove. And then it won't matter up this section here, because I'm putting those box flashing, which you'll see a little bit later. So those sheets will obviously be shorter, and I've got heaps of those to work down the hill. So I've got a heap of sheets about 5 meters. They might be 5.1, I think, off the top of my head, which will get me a few more sheets across to the Malachi's window. And then I've got quite a few, I think. And then I've got a heap of sheets. I think they're 4.2. There might be maybe 4 at 4.2, which will get me sort of from Malachi's window halfway across the rumpus room almost. And then I've got some 3.6 meter lengths, which will get me sort of from halfway down the rumpus to the bottom. I didn't want to order a single sheet that was 5 meters, and then a single sheet that was 4.5, and then a single sheet that was 3, and then a single sheet that was 3. I mean, even though, yes, you're saving on material because you're kind of stepping it, these March flies, because you're kind of stepping it down like this, it's a bit of a pain having to deal with so many different lengths of sheets. It's all recyclable as well, so it can all be recycled. And any kind of decent offcuts that I've got that might be, say, a metre or even a little bit less, I'm not throwing away anyway. I won't be going to recycle. I'll be using it. It'll be using a woodshed or, something, cubby house for the kids, or, a cover for a pump or something like that. So a lot of those offcuts I am going to stockpile and keep. And, so I'm not too worried about having those offcuts. It's more about making sure I've got long enough lengths, because I'm not putting any joins in this at all up the, on the vertical. So yeah, so I just need to make sure I've got one for here, and I think I'll have to go and hunt down from the other gable end. But anyway, so now I'm just cutting in around this door, and it's a bit fiddly, so I've just got to. That's why I've got me shears to rip down the length of the sheet. And looking at the sheet too, it's going to be a nice flat section that goes in behind here, which has worked out really well. I was a bit worried. The unfortunate thing that would happen is the top of one of these ribs would be, halfway across this rib would stop on the edge of this door, and this door reveal here, this little sort of groove in the back here, channel, wouldn't house that, so it'd butt in, and then I'd probably have to silicone or pop rivet some sort of strip over there to sort of seal it up. But it looks like it's going to butt in there really nicely, and just stop in there, and sort of push against the edge of the frame. So it should be really nice and sealed there. But when it comes to the house, I'm going to seal things up a little bit more too. So I've got to kind of I'm going to sort of silicone the paper to the frame, and then if I've got some gaps that are a little bit bigger than I was hoping to with my cladding against my windows, and looking at the window profile, it's not very deep, so I may have to put a little flashing over where the window joins the cladding. I'm hoping not. Or if that doesn't quite work, then I might put a little bit of black Sikaflex, like a polyurethane that's, you know, really good quality, and sort of seals that join. In fact, I'm a bit suspicious that the surveyor might sort of want something like that if I've got sort of bigger than 3mm gaps anyway, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. 3mm gaps around a house in town is acceptable. In the bushfire area, it might not be acceptable. I haven't looked up the standard yet, but it's probably going to be something that I do anyway. Anyway, so before I kind of get too far up there, I've got to put the flashing over the window. I've got more paper to do. I've got the flashing at the bottom to sort out. So I'm just going to do sort of across this door, maybe across this door now, and then I'll sort of sort out that a little bit later. So yeah, just want to also say thanks for those that have been watching and subscribing. As of this video now, I'm sitting at about 1,200 subscribers roughly, maybe a bit less. Appreciate sort of people, you know, give me positive comments and say they've enjoyed watching the videos, and it's a lot of effort, and people don't sort of realise how much work sort of goes into filming and editing and all that sort of stuff. It sort of takes time out of my day to sort of be able to do this. But you know, I do it because I enjoy doing it. I do it because family enjoy watching it, and you know, friends from church and from the community enjoy watching it, and I like sharing my story and what I do, and yeah, I love sort of putting the videos together, and the music I feel really sets the scene, and I really, that's the one part of the making the videos I really enjoy is the music side of it. So in terms of the music too, go and watch a video my daughter Zaria and I did quite a few videos ago, posted probably back in about early February, and she's a vocalist, and it was a Billie song, WildFlowers, I think it was called, and I only learned it on guitar. I play guitar, but I learnt that song on guitar that day, and we performed it here on the block over near the Billabong. So yeah, the link for that video will be in the description below, so go and check that out as well if you're interested in music and stuff like that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll keep going on with this cladding. So. So I'm just kind of up to the other side of this doorway here, and I'll have to run a sheet, long sheet, sort of down the other side of this doorway, and it'll come across. There's flashing at the bottom here, which is also going to work as a there's also going to work as a like a measurement shelf, so I can get a measurement off this up underneath the fascia. Yeah, I'm still not sure how I'm going to do this. I'll probably just run this iron that comes down here, down onto this part here. I'll probably just run this here and then step it up. And then if I ever sort of put some dirt or bluestone or something against it here, I'll just have to run a bit of timber plinth or something, a bit of treated pine there, just so the dirt's not sort of touching the iron. The bottom of the iron here will be capped, and then I'll obviously have to cap this somehow as well, a little bit. But this basically really seals this up. And I like too that I was thinking that this was going to be a lot higher. I was thinking that this was going to be sort of right up here, just because of the, you know, where my height, I'm a bit governed by the height around the other side of the house there. And but what it's turned out to be is yeah, sort of almost only probably, what, 120 mil higher than this part here. This just runs over the edge of the slab here. And then this I'm governed by the height of the iron that I've got around there. Because what I want to do around the other side is I want to have this at the right height, that I don't have to cut the sheets. I can just slip it underneath the top eave, and then, or the little top lip behind the fascia, and then basically sit down on that and then screw it in. Ideally, I might be still buzzing sheets off a little bit down if they're a bit tight. But so yeah, so I can paper this all. I've flashed the top of the window. I've done that flashing. So now I'm basically up to papering this. And then papering up there. I'll probably just paper most of this as I go, I reckon. I'll see. Yeah, I might just put, how far have I gone across there? Yeah, I might just paper this bit here actually. And then I might get up and maybe do these next couple of sheets now. As long as it's not too hot to touch, I'll probably have to put the gloves back on. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. It's, yeah, I've got to glue, when I do this paper too, I want to glue this around the aluminium here, just to get a nice tight seal. With the paper. Helps with insulation, so you don't get those air gaps, and so you don't get the breeze that sort of comes through the edges and in. So anyway, so yeah, put some paper on and maybe cut some iron in around this doorway and keep going that way, and go around Malachi's window next too. So anyway, cool. So I totally forgot that I just put all that paper on last couple of days here, and where the brace board is, so beside the window here, there's a couple of other spots as well where I've got brace board. I've got 35 mil of packers out, and then on the other side I've only got the 120 mil frame, so I've got 160 mil to play with this insulation. And what I wanted to do is put foil board in there, Dad's suggestion, and I put paper across it. Totally forgot about the foil board. So quick dash into Bunnings, into town, and I've got some 25 mil foil board. So yeah, I got three sheets of the foil board. It's about 42 with a Power Pass discount on Bunnings, at $42 a sheet, which is not bad because I'm only going to need maybe 6 sheets all up roughly. I got 3 just because I thought that'll get me, you know, here and over there as I work around. And so it'll basically just be fixed to the outside of the ply, and then my paper can go across the front of that. So it means that, you know, wherever you've got space, you fill it up with insulation. Let it slide and just go, nah, I'll just cram a bat on the other side and be done with it. But it's in the corner of Malachi's room, and I can see it being, you know, a fair distance from the heater as well, from the electric heater that is. And I was concerned that it's on the south side too, so it's not going to cop any sun over this side. And I thought, no, it's going to be a slightly cooler room, which probably won't bother Malachi because he doesn't really like the heat, a bit like me, he doesn't like the heat as much. But I thought, nah, stuff it. But anyway, it'd be better insulated than, just about better insulated than any other house I've built. House I built when I first did my, sort of just after my apprenticeship, no, I was still in my apprenticeship actually, built a whole house by myself, pretty much. Dad helped me with the footings. In the south side, or sort of southwest side of Ballarat. I built that, and that was a pretty funky house. And so that house is a little bit different. That had 90 mil frames, but I managed to get, because it was all brickwork on the outside, so I had that cavity. So I put foil board on the outside, but I used, this is 25 mil, I used 15 mil, and that created insulation and a moisture barrier on the outside. So like this has got paper on it, but on the inside I used, I think it was an R2, either an R2 or an R1.5 bat. So effectively in the walls there I had what you'd normally have in your ceiling, they had in the walls. And for those that are watching who bought that house, you know who you are, friends of mine. Yeah, basically they got double in the insulation in the walls, and then some of the sections of the ceiling roof space was sort of low cavity, so I still put a really big bat in that. It was really well insulated. So fingers crossed, I'll achieve something similar, if not better, here. This house will just be a little bit hotter in summer because of the cladding. You don't have that thermal mass of the bricks to sort of help cut down that heat to come in. So you will get a fair bit of heat come in through the cladding. But then also I'm going to have the solar system and the ducted cooling, which we use a little bit of electricity, but hopefully the solar system will help offset the cost of running the air conditioner, keep things cool. And then because of the passive design, with the way that we've designed the windows through the main living areas and stuff, with the sliding doors and everything, you'll get fairly decent cross breeze through that. Probably warmer in the bedrooms, especially our bedroom right on the end, will be warmer in there. But the same deal is we've got that sliding door in the ensuite, sliding door in our bedroom to get that cross breeze for passive cooling. So it'll cool down naturally, if it cools down in the evenings, which here in Western Victoria, it gets pretty cool in the evenings most of the time. So anyway. Right, as you can see from the time lapse, I've officially cladded all the garage, I guess you'd say. So the front alcove now, I'm right across the back here. So I've come right across, I'm over the door, and I'm now at the corner of Malachi's room, and I'm working across that now. So I think this is going to be probably my last sheet of the day. It's pretty hot, and I'm just getting tired and a bit over it, and I've got a few jobs to do. And then on Thursday I'll sort of be able to get stuck into it and keep working my way. Oh, go away, Marchfly. Oh, they're real sticky, and I reckon they've been giving me bites. I've got these. Oh, see? Look at that. Let's see if I can get it to land on me, and then I can. Oh, these Marchfly, seriously, they're huge, and I reckon it's them that have been giving me these little itchy bites. That's gotten better actually, but this was really red and inflamed and sore. So I finished the back wall of the house. Well, the south bit. There's still that south bit over there too, but that's all the shorter sheets. So I'm really happy to be kind of at the end of kind of doing all the high work with the scaffold and cutting all the angles and all that sort of stuff. So it'll probably move a little bit quicker now that I can sort of get around the other side, but there's still going to be a fair bit of preparation work obviously for that. So thanks for watching though. This has been probably a bit of a longer video. This whole back wall's been a fair bit of preparation work in getting it sort of to this stage, and I'm sort of glad to be at the end of this wall. I'm kind of getting a bit, I'm keen to sort of move somewhere else and start working somewhere else. So probably, I think it was filmed probably over about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, thanks for tuning in again, and we'll see you on the next one.